Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's running of the NASRA 150 here at Texas Motor Speedway. Our current pole sitter is, of course, none other than Justin Michael in that number 87. And currently, right now, we are looking at Ted Wade taking his laps. That is a nice paint job. Real quick, I just want to comment on that. I've always loved chrome out here in the iRacing world. But alongside, as always, here tonight, we got Will Tellier in the house.
Yes, sir. Everything is bigger in Texas, and we cannot wait to get this action started here in NASRA. It has been an action-packed couple weeks here, Tim, with Dustin Scruggs winning at Phoenix last week and a few other wins that we've seen throughout the season. Actually, correct that real quick. It was Justin Michael who won. He has 2 wins on the West Coast here, Tim, in NASRA.
Yeah, and now we're making that swing back east. Just taking a quick stop in Texas. Here is Ted Wade. I believe that was his second lap. Actually, it didn't count. It's not counting the laps because I think they have. What NASRA likes to do is they run. It's kind of like a strict qualifying situation. So if you tap the wall or anything, it scratches your entire time. So right now, Ted Wade does not have a time recorded. Still no time recorded because he tagged the wall off of the exit at 2. He's got to have a perfect lap. He can't touch nothing. He can't hit nothing. He's got to be able to make this thing fling off of turn 2, come down the backstretch, and take it down into turn 3 and 4. Let's see if he throws down a lap time here. Oh, man! And if that's any indication of how tonight's going to go, and he even slowed it down because he knew that he totally botched that. It did not record that lap time either. That's odd. But Dustin Scruggs on the track right now in that number 11.
Yeah, that 11's having one heck of a season here. Tim, with 3 starts on the season, he has 1 pole, 3 top 5s, and 3 top 10s on the season. So trying to get his second pole of the season here so far, is leading the points total right now with 152 points. He's got about a 7-point lead on second place of Adam Newbert there in second. We'll watch right now him take his lap right now, and last week's winner is currently on top of that grid. We'll see where this Scruggs is right now in 4th, taking this lap here, Tim. And Michael, talking about Justin Michael there in that machine, the 87 machine right there, if you will, with 2 starts on the season, has 2 wins. So 2 starts, 2 wins, and a pole on the season. So jumped up 9 spots in that grid.
Man, he just keeps knocking them down. I'll be interested to see how he does here tonight. I mean, already he's on the pole, so can't get much better than that.
Not at all. It looks like Scruggs is not going to get better than his first lap there. Still down in the 4th position right there. Like his first try was his best try so far here at Texas. But Tim, for the folks, as we're watching this qualifying session take place here, for the folks that are unfamiliar with this track, it's almost a track that gets overlooked throughout the iRacing circuit. Not the biggest name. It's not the hardest track out there. What's this track similar to? It looks like it has the front stretch of a Charlotte, and the corners look a little bit more wider than Charlotte there with not as much banking. But what are the things to look out for here tonight at Texas?
When I look at Texas, I often compared it to a Charlotte to a old Atlanta. Can't say Atlanta anymore because Atlanta is now, repaved, redone, and now races like Pack Racing, Daytona, and Talladega. So when I think of Texas, I think of those 2 tracks in particular. So if you're a guy that's good at these mile and a halves, coming to Texas, you're going to have a ball. Because if you think about Charlotte coming off of turn 4, that wall comes up on you quick. Come out of turn 4 here at Texas Motor Speedway, the wall comes at you real quick. Now, these guys here tonight, we've already seen during qualifying, a couple guys have been really loose coming off these corners because they're pushing those cars to their limits, and it's just going to be it's gonna be one of those things where if you're on that inside lane, you're going to have to keep it down there because if not, you're going to slide right up into that guy outside of you, and he's going to careem that wall.
Yeah, definitely still taking a look at qualifying here to see who's going to take that pole position here in the NASRA 150 live here from Texas Motor Speedway. And Tim, we're watching it here. You know, throughout the season, we hit Phoenix, we've hit Daytona, of course, to start off the season. Do you think it's going to be the same mix of drivers here tonight that are going to be in the mix, or do you think someone else is going to poke out there? As just mentioned, you know, Michael's won 2 races in his first 2 starts, but then Scruggs came off really strong to start off the season here as we're taking a look at qualifying of that 11 machine right there. Do you think we're going to see a repeat of the 87 in victory lane, or maybe the Scruggs getting back to where he left off at Daytona, or is a new name going to rise from the crowd?
Well, you know, a couple things that I've been watching so far this season. Adam Newbert in that number 4 has been very solid. He's gotten in a couple of accidents late in the running, and that's hurt his chances. Meza, Ted Wade, and Keith Haney in that number 78. That 78 has been strong week in and week out. He just needs a breakthrough week.
Yeah, right now, still taking a look at qualifying so far here on the track. Looks like that grid is set. Looks like we're ready to start things off here, Tim.
Do you want to sing the national anthem for us?
I'm going to pass on that, Tim. I'm pretty good on the mic, but not that good. But you know what I'll do? I'll throw it on over to you to run through the folks through that starting grid.
So I'm sorry, I totally blanked out when you. Justin Michael is your pole sitter for the second week in a row, I believe. He did start on the pole last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he did, okay. Adam Newbert in that number 4. Robert Richards. That is another car you need to watch out for. That number 48 starting in 3rd place. Dustin Scruggs starting off in 4th place in that number 11. Zach Hardwick in that number 24 starting off 5th. Nathan Switch in that 51 starting off 6th. James Morris in that number 47 starting off 7th. Phil Pappas in that number 8 starting off in 8th. Meza in that 37 starting off in 9th. I believe this is Brogan Pritchett Norris's first race here at NASRA. I don't remember seeing him before. In that number 69 starting off in 10th. Ted Wade in that number 2 starting off in 11th. Brian Abbott in that number 82 starting off in 13th. Keith Haney in that 78 starting off 14th. And James Haney starting off in 15th in that number 55.
Yes, sir. That's going to be our starting lineup here in the NASRA 150 here live on 10-4 broadcasting. But before this action starts, I believe we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back for the drop of the green flag.
And we are back here getting this bad boy started. Taking
Yes,
care
sir.
of a couple of technical things that I forgot.
Yes, sir. Now, one sponsor that is by iRaces 4 races the goal to make race control as easy as possible. Each admin box connects via USB and feed pre-programmed commands, no key binding for race control. Driver function and pit options, LED backlighting makes the box in any situation. Enclosure inverted printing standards version 2.0. Contact them over at adminbox, that's 2x's.com, or fish at adminbox.com to get yours today. Go check them out on Discord and Facebook, Tim. But here we go. The pace car is leading them down the backstretch. The flag is about to drop here in NASRA.
Yeah, and here we go. Week number 3 is in the books. We're here at week number 4 at Texas Motor Speedway. I believe it's just going to be just as exciting as last week was. We got to see a lot of 3, 4, 5 wide racing at Phoenix. We won't get it that wide here. Well, we might at Texas, but pace car is off down pit road. Green flag is in the air, and Michael is going to bring us to the green flag.
Yeah, as the 87 car is going to lead them down into corner number 1. Has Newbert right on the outside. It looks like separation for Justin Michael as he heads down into the corner right now. He's going to take that 87 around 2 down into the backstretch here. Still leading the way, separating from the rest of the field as he's going to burn that car right down into corner number 3 here at Texas.
Doing a great job, a great restart for him. He's already a half a second over the second place of Adam Newbert. Newbert looked a little loose there, I think, unless I was just seeing things. He looked a little loose coming off the corner there. And now that the name of the game is Adam's going to want to stay in this draft and get back into the gas faster than Michael does. But also he doesn't want to wear out those tires because right behind him he's got Robert Richards who during the grid walk talked about that number 48. That 48 car has been hot. He just hasn't been able to deliver due to wrecks out of his control, but currently sitting in P3 right now. Not much has changed on the leaderboard except for a couple of guys. Ted Wade, hunt for the lead has gotten real tight all of a sudden coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, as they're battling down the backstretch here, folks. As Tim just mentioned, it might be a battle for tires, but I'll get to that in just a second as Adam Newbert's trying to make a move there in that 4 machine, trying to get around the 87 and Justin Michael. I think Justin's going to hold him off here to cross this line here on the front stretch. The 87 is going to still try to lead the way down into 1. The 4 is trying to get up there, waste no time to take over the lead right now as that 4 is still digging on that back bumper around 1. Into 2 right now, heading down the backstretch. It's still a fight for the lead here, heading down the backstretch here at Texas.
That 48 car was all over the back of that 4. I think he's just trying to feel it out, seeing where he can make that move. He's kind of looked to the inside here coming out of turn 2 or turn 4, but now the 4 car is going to go to the inside of the 87. He left the lane open. Adam's going to take it. Question is the 48. Yeah, I thought maybe the 48 was going to have enough to get up there and get around the 87 as well, but not enough. Now the 48 is going to go to the inside.
Looks like the 87 might be stuck in some Brendan Fraser quicksand there because he is going backwards on the track right now. As that 48's now trying to make a move on that 87. The 87 has now lost the lead to Adam Newbert there in that 4 machine. 87 is going to hold on to second place right now as we head down the front stretch. So that 48 has a big run heading down into corner number 1. It's going to try to make a move here on the backstretch. And around the corner right now, the 48's right there on that back fender. We'll see if he makes a move here on the backstretch, Tim.
That 48, I'm telling you, he looks like he's got a really good car. And I'm surprised Scruggs is just a little bit back there. But, you know, Scruggs is probably actually saving tires while these guys are up here racing each other. Nathan Smith in that 51 sitting in P5 right now, just behind Scruggs, and just behind him, Ted Wade. That number 2 is up 5 spots since the drop of the green flag. If there's anybody that it doesn't matter where they start, they're going to be up at the front at some point, it's Ted Wade. And Richards just got around him. And now here's the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Dustin Scruggs, Nathan Smith, and Ted Wade. Riding on board with Dustin Scruggs right now.
And Tim, as we have a break in the action here, as we're still single file down the track here, no passing taking place, I do want to run the folks at home through our setup here tonight. We're going to run 1 stage of 40 laps. Stage 2 is going to hit at 80, and then we're going to run a total of 150, folks. So we're going to have a break at 40, break at 80, and then that last, let's say, about 70 laps or so will be the end of the race there, folks. We got 5 sets of tires on these race cars here tonight, 100% fuel capacity, and Tim, my favorite rule of them all, 0 fast repairs for these race cars tonight.
Listen, I believe that gives us some of the best racing here because these guys got to take care of their cars. They can't just willy-nilly go out here, gas pedal to the floor, balls to the wall, for lack of a better term. They've actually got to take care of their stuff. They've got to think outside the box. They got to think, okay, if I do this during this stage, it's such as I raced in the trucks on Friday night, and we raced at Indianapolis. I made the decision during green flag pit stops in the third stage. I went with 2 right side tires and gas. A lot of guys, well, not a lot, but quite a few guys were running out of gas on that last lap. I had just put just enough to get out and go, and a couple of fresh tires to have a fast pit stop. And let me tell you, that strategy ended up paying off for me. But that's the kind of stuff that these guys got to think about here is keeping the car clean, thinking about the tires, and thinking about the fuel.
Definitely, Tim. As still Adam Newbert's leading here on lap number 11. Still holding off Richards in that 48. Still got Justin Michael there in the third position in that 87. Has now relinquished that second position to that 48. Dustin Scruggs, who has a win on the season in that 11 machine, just had a bad stretch of luck here. Last couple races is now up to fourth, and Wade is up to fifth right now. That is our top 5 here on lap number 11.
It looks like our biggest mover is Ted Wade still. Our second biggest mover is that number 78 that I talked about at the beginning of the show. Keith Haney has really, week in and week out, been putting that 78 where it needs to be. Just unfortunately hasn't been finishing where I would expect him to finish, and probably where he would expect to finish too. But doing a great job wheeling that 78 around every race so far.
Yeah, indeed. They're whipping that thing around here tonight at Texas. Everything's bigger at Texas, and so is the action here tonight. We are over the top. Shout out to Over the Top Designs here tonight, one of the wonderful sponsors here in the NASRA Xfinity series right there, as we see a pass of the 24 machine right there on the track. Looks like that's Haney in the 78, and you just mentioned the 78 machine has been really consistent here this season. Just one of those guys that hasn't been able to break through. Caught a little bit of bad luck last week there in that 78. It's just one of those drivers that really races up the grid, then unfortunately just catches something there at the end that leaves him out of a great finishing position.
You know, and it's time and time again. You know, I'm gonna look at well, actually, a couple of things. I'd be putting. There we go. So tonight we're at Texas Motor Speedway, and next Thursday we are at one of my all-time favorite tracks, Chicagoland. I don't know what it is about that track. I just really like it. But we have, looking at the rest of the schedule, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only have 6 races left before playoffs start. November 3rd, we jump right into the playoffs.
Yeah, things are getting crazy here. The leader of the points right now is Scruggs in that 11 machine, but the rest of the positions below him are very tight. As mentioned, Scruggs hasn't gotten the results that he's wanted here the past couple weeks. Of course, won the first race of the season. If I do believe there, Tim won the first race. But then after that, it's just been fighting that 11 machine around the track, and Justin Michael has come in with 2 starts so far in this season, has won both of them. But now you see that 87 machine right there in third position. Is now trying to race back up in the lead after starting on the pole here tonight.
Yeah, you were talking about points. Look at the biggest mover in the points last week, Justin Michael, all the way up to 4th place when he was in 13th.
Right. Yeah, about 9 spot difference there, Tim.
Crazy. And even if when you go look at the team standings, the Bandit Motorsports jumped up 4 positions as well. And I think he's the only driver on Bandit Motorsports.
Oh, he's definitely stealing the show here tonight under Bandit Motorsports there, and that 87 has now worked his way back up in the 2nd spot.
Oh, it looks like they're side by side. I was looking, I was like, I don't see the 4 car out the front end, but I didn't realize they were side by side for the lead. That's funny. Man, now he's pulling away from Adam in that number 4. It's funny. It's kind of turned into like a cat and mouse situation. Adam caught him, went around him. Now the 87 caught him, went back around. We're at lap 20. I believe you said
40 laps, I do believe.
Yes, lap 40, lap 80, and then the checkered flag at 150. So they're already halfway through stage number 1, and don't forget, you're going to want all the points you can get as far as playoff points. Let me see here. Taking a look. Clayton Davis. Right now, Justin Michael has 10 playoff points compared to Clayton Davis's 3 and Dustin Scruggs 1. So those are things they're going to want to be paying attention to heading into the midway of this season.
Yeah, for sure, Tim. Looking at those point standings there once again, keeping an eye out on that here tonight. As Tim said, we're only very close to the playoffs here. Now, Justin Michael, with those 2 wins on the season, had 10, as you just mentioned, Tim. Clayton Davis, another winner here, has 3, and Dustin Scruggs has 1. Those are our 3 winners on the season here so far, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at those results here, the past couple races, I'll jump back to that here in my statistics book here. Looking at the finishes so far, of course, we're coming from Phoenix Raceway. Justin Michael won that race, led 96 laps there, Tim. So did it in quite the impressive fashion there, getting that many laps. And then before that, we were at Auto Club. Auto Club was won by Justin Michael as well. So he went back to back, trying to go for 3 in a row here tonight, folks. He led 71 laps in that race, had the fastest qualifying time and the fastest average lap time there at Auto Club. And then jumping back to the first race of the season, of course, it was Clayton Davis who won that race there. So, been quite a season so far here. I did not know that Justin Michael is going for 3 in a row here tonight, Tim.
I forgot that as well. We do different broadcasts throughout the week. Sometimes I get these guys' names mixed up with other leagues. And that happens way too often. Because I'm pretty sure on Tuesday night I was talking about somebody who won 2 in a row, but I was actually talking about Justin Michael. I wasn't talking about them.
Yeah, and Dustin Scruggs, as I mistakenly mentioned there, has not put that 11 in victory lane so far yet, Tim. He has had the most consistent season of any of the drivers here in NASRA with 3 top 5s and 3 top 10s, but 0 wins on this season. So if there's ever a time to put that 11 in victory lane, it would be here tonight at Texas, because what a way to kick off a winning streak here at the biggest track of them all.
And he means biggest just because it's in Texas.
You caught that, too.
Yeah. I was like, do I want to let this slide or do I say something?
Everything's bigger in Texas, Tim.
Everything. I've never been, but this is one of those tracks I always wanted to go to. As we're watching a battle here right now for 8th, 9th, and 10th between Raul, Nathan, and Brian. Brian in that 82 going around Nathan to the inside. Oh, somebody disappeared.
Yeah, you see Raul right there in that 37 is going to lead them down the backstretch. He's going to hold on to that position of 8th place right there. Going to kind of separate himself from the rest of these drivers. But Tim, looking at that separation, speaking of separation on the track, after Meza, it really drops off there. Looking at that grid, you're looking at about a 4-second gap between 7th and 8th place there.
Yeah, not sure what just happened. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I was looking at the wrong vehicle, wrong number. But yeah, that's 4-second gap there, and total off the lead. That number 37 is almost 10 seconds off of the leader.
Yeah, looking at that gap, Justin Michael is increasing that gap now. It has about a 1.5 seconds. Adam Newbert's pretty close there with 2 seconds. And Richard's right there at 2.5. But then it just goes from there to 3.5, 4 seconds. You got 9 seconds behind in that 37. And then all the way down to 10th place, it's a 10-second gap now, Tim. So the way this race is moving along here, we got about 12 laps to go here in stage number 1. Looks to be just the Justin Michael show here once again in that 87.
Yeah, but anything had changed we saw, because last week Scruggs had a really strong start, but then ended up getting caught up in something and ultimately ended his chances of winning last week. So anything is possible. We've seen it time and time again, almost like, I don't want to say this, but almost like the Indianapolis Colts losing 20-3 heading into the fourth quarter just to tie.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. I had them by 8.5, which was their favorite of their point spread there. But hey, who would have guessed that they would have played down to the Houston Texans there with Dusty Mills as their quarterback? But can't live in the past there, Tim. We'll see what the Colts have in store for everybody next week. I think they're favored by 10.5 this week. So who knows if they play down once again?
It's Jacksonville. We're gonna lose.
Probably
Yeah, love you too.
playoffs, but that's okay. You can't live in the past. You just in one of the two games there. You're like living the Miami Dolphins life there, Tim.
hey, we're undefeated. That's all that matters.
That's right. You haven't lost yet.
Look at this. Ted Wade up to second place right now. Up 9 spots since the drop of the green flag. He went all the way from the back of the field to the front.
Yeah, look at that. Up into the second position there. A name that practically up there in that 87 hasn't really gone anywhere either. So up there in the lead.
And you can see it looks like the transition tonight is taking place. We're going to ride on board. You can see, well, the stands block the sun, but I saw some orange glare on Ted Wade's car as Scruggs is slipped back to 5th, only 1 spot away from where he started. Robert Richards is where he started. Justin Michaels where he started. Adam Newbert is back 2 spots. I hate to use this phrase, but it's the only phrase I can think of. Our biggest, we'll call him reverse mover, is Zach Hardwick in that number 24. Oh, it looks like he's actually really struggling. Because going by, I know you can't hear it, Will, but his engine sound was very quiet. So it's almost as if he was letting off the gas quite a bit. See if we can't ride on board here and take a look at the RPMs. Heading down the front stretch. Gets it up to about 8,000. He's letting off. Still off. Slowly getting back into the gas. So yeah, he's having to let off quite a bit. His fastest lap was a 30.87. His last lap he just ran was a 33.77. A total 2 seconds off of your race leader right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's closing the gap just a little bit there, Tim, but with 6 laps to go here in stage number 1, looks like it's going to be Justin Michael there in that 87, practically picking up where he left off last week.
Hey, this will be stage win number 7 in a row.
That's true there, Tim. That's a good way to head over to the statistics book there.
I remember no driver other than Justin Michael has won a stage in 2 races. No, that
87 has definitely been dominant here. He has 2 starts, 2 wins. He's going for 3 starts, 3 wins. The 3 wins in a row. Trying to cook up some turkey dinner here in the great state of Texas. I'm sure it'll be smoked turkey with some barbecue if he's able to hold on to it here tonight. Got 3 laps to go here as he's coming around corner number 2 down into the backstretch right now. There's literally nobody around him, Tim. He can basically pop on some AirPods or whatever you listen to, play some music, maybe sip on some Gatorade because he's got no worries in the world up there in the lead.
Yeah, and he's got about 3 laps to go here in this stage. And he's just going to be racking up more of those bonus points.
Yeah, and Tim, I wanted to ask you, as we're watching Justin Michael dominate there in that 87, what's your mindset if you're maybe in the 2nd position, 3rd position, 4th, or even inside the top 5 right now? You're seeing that interval on your screen. You know, these drivers can see that on their screens as they're racing around. Do Do you start to get discouraged a little bit, or do you know that eventually you're going to have a break in the action, you're going to be able to catch this 87 and race him a little bit more? Or are you thinking like maybe my setup's just not right here tonight? We still got a long way to go, over 100 laps to go. What's your mindset in the car right now?
Well, I mean, for me, my mindset is always looking for the next pit stop or, you know, the caution flag, because anything is possible in these races. He could be leading on the last lap and smack himself right into the wall, and you could come home victorious. So to me,
Right.
I never give up, no matter what situation I'm in these races.
Yeah, you can't give up at all. But right now, Justin Michael is going to lead them around the backstretch right now. Looks like he's going to go ahead and cruise to this stage one victory. And what a dominant 40 laps it has been for the 87 machine. Coming around corner number 4 right now onto the front stretch. And Tim, you just mentioned it. This is his 8th win in a row, stage win.
Seventh.
7th win in a row there for the 87.
I believe caution should be coming out any moment.
That 41 is coming around the corner now, down into the backstretch. No caution on the racetrack just yet. No break in the action. We'll see what happens here next time across the line as that 87 is going to dig down into corner number 3. Round 4 right now, right in that inside lane. And there is the caution on the track. And that's officially going to be our first break in the action here tonight, live here on 10-4 broadcast.
I think they were waiting for the 10th car to pass the start-finish line because, everybody in the top 10 gets points.
And that's how long of a distance it was there, Tim. It almost took about another lap and a half for them to
23
finally
seconds.
cross the line. Yes, sir. But I believe in this break of the action, we're going to bring up our stage 1 winner. And I believe, Tim, you got him on the radio.
Hey, Justin, it's Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Sure do.
Man, do you ever take a break? Do you lift, bro? I think that should be a slogan on your car somewhere. This is this is the 7th stage you've won in a row.
Definitely lifting. I think that's why I saved tires better than everybody else.
Yeah.
They were going all out there that first half of the run. I just was laying back and letting them do their thing.
Man, so now you've won at the Auto Club and you've won at Phoenix. How do you prepare yourself for a track like Texas, which is much different than either of those?
Well, I like the quad overs or dog leg, whatever you want to call them, the cookie cutter tracks more than anything else. So I always excel at these. So I was really looking forward to this race.
Awesome. Well, since you're up at the booth, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just everybody out there watching. Hopefully my friends out there, Darren's out there watching, and Scott from Pettit Paints are painting us awesome cars always. John from Over the Top putting on the leg, or sponsoring the leg. We definitely appreciate him.
Awesome. Well, good luck the rest of the night, and I imagine we'll be talking to you again later.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Justin. I almost called him Michael.
And that was Justin Michael, our winner here in stage number 1 of the NASRA Xfinity Series here live from Texas Motor Speedway. And with that, folks, we're going to go ahead and head to commercial and be right for the drop of the green flag.
And we are back here on 10-4 Broadcasting. First caution of the night. Stage number 1 is in the books. Lap 43 of 150 here. Our next stage break will hit at the end of lap number 80. Once that 10th car goes across. Something I liked about this track, Will, you see the yellow lights along the railing or the fence here at Texas. Just to make sure the driver knows, hey, caution's out.
Exactly, Tim. And how do you think they should be throwing these cautions here tonight? What kind of tool should they be using to throw out these cautions here in NASRA?
Listen, they need an admin box. It has all the buttons you need: clear black flags, throw yellows, uh, clear black flags, anything an admin needs to run their league efficiently. And hey, Brady, you don't have to be sitting out down there in 15th. I see you on pit road. You could be out there racing right now and just have that big old admin box, and you could be putting on a show with these guys. But it's something I believe every league needs to have, and I encourage everybody to check it out over there at Admin Box on Facebook.
Yes, sir. It's as simply as just a USB plug and play. You plug in that thing, you can have your iRacing simulator in driving or pit mode there, Tim. So you could be like Brady and chill down on the pit road, or you could be racing and have the admin box right to the side of your wheel or your setup. Call everything that you need to call while you're driving at the same time. So we invite everybody to go check them out at Admin Box. That's 2X's on the bottom or the end of Admin Box. Go check them out right now and get yours ordered. They're fully customized, fully built to however much or however you want it. But right now, Tim, we're looking like we're gonna go back onto green here as those caution lights are off of that pace car.
Yeah, and I felt like that was a little bit of a longer caution than I expected. I don't know if it was because of how far spread out the field was, or what it was. But it looks like we're going to be going back green on lap 46, which only gives about 34-ish laps in stage 2.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen. As mentioned to start off this broadcast, the next stage end is going to be on lap 80. So as Tim just mentioned, it's going to be cut by about 6 laps here to end things as we head down the backstretch here, still under caution. Our first break in the action here. No on-track cautions, just a stage break so far here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway as we're coming around corner number 4, getting ready to go green here once again.
Coming down around turns 3 and 4, pace car is going to dive right off into pit road aggressively, as always. Ted Wade lost some time on that pit stop there. Green flag is in the air, and look at the jump that he's going to get. And look at that, Adam Newbert as well on that inside lane, going to get a great start there. Whenever you're starting behind the leader, it's always a good day because everybody else is going to be reacting while you're going with him. Oh, and Dustin Scruggs! Really loose!
He's sideways. The 11 is sideways on the exit of 2, and the caution is out here. Our first on-track caution of the night as the 11 of Dustin Scruggs went a full 90 degrees. Whoa, bruh, as he was surfing down the corner there, was able to save that 11. Doesn't look like he made any contact with any other race car on the track, Tim, but we'll definitely check that 10-4 broadcasting replay. Yeah, he just was surfing down that corner.
Man, he did a great job. Let me, I want a better view of that. Give me a second here. I want to, oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Because it started early on heading into turn 1 from the get-go. We're going to go back all the way to this green, or this restart, actually. See him coming into turn 1 here, right there at the top of the screen. He starts getting loose right there in the center of the corner. You see him try to save it, goes up the track. Woo, and locks it up right there. Fantastic job by Dustin Scruggs, not hitting anybody, not getting into the wall, and keeping it going.
Fantastic driving skill there out of Dustin there in that 11. As mentioned, he is our points leader heading into tonight's race. Has the most consistent season so far, Tim, but I can know for a fact that he wants to put that 11 in victory lane here. He's going to have a tough way to do it here tonight, now dropping all the way down to the 12th position. The 11 was racing pretty good up there inside the top 5. Maybe something happened there on that last restart that had him drop back just a little bit. Got a little bit dicey there on the corners, but that 11, Tim, he's just been very consistent, just hasn't been able to break through the likes of Justin Michael up there, as well as Wade. You know, Wade's another name that's kind of dominated here. You know, some of these names up there at the top. But I believe that 11, as we're creeping there towards the playoffs, might just be one of those drivers that kind of lays and waits there towards the end of the season, and then it's going to really come on strong and take home the championship.
One thing I tell you about Dustin Scruggs, I've known him for I've known him for about 2 years now, in the early days of 10-4 broadcasting. Um, he has a teammate. His teammate's not here tonight, Red Tucker, and Dustin Scruggs is really good at saving his stuff, and just really, if I had to give him a nickname, I'd give him the nickname of the closer, uh, just like Kevin Harvick, because he always lurks and strikes when he needs to.
Yeah, and he's having a Kevin Harvick type season here tonight, or this season so far, Tim. No wins on the season so far, but as mentioned, has the best results of anybody. 3 top fives, 3 top tens, in 3 races. So finished inside the top 5 for the first 3 races of the season. And just like Kevin Harvick, and we spoke about this off air, had about 7 wins one season and didn't win the championship. So could be that type of season for Dustin Scruggs there and that 11. But I feel like once he gets a taste of victory lane, he's going to want some more there, like a lion in the jungle.
You keep saying all these phrases where it just makes you want to play copyrighted music, and they would come after us.
Gotta keep it fun there, Tim, as we're gonna have only about looking like 30 laps to go here in stage number 2. So our first on-track caution here, Dustin Scruggs, they had headed down pit road there. Looks like he's gonna be way off the pace, all the way down into the 13th position, but still a long way to go here. Still got a bill to go. That's 100 laps here at Texas, Tim. And what we've seen so far, it's basically just you gotta keep up with Justin Michael on those restarts there in that 87. And if you let that 87 run wild up there, I gotta think he's running maybe a Ford, and those ponies are just running around the track here tonight. Take a look.
He's running a Toyota.
Oh, see, that makes even more sense there. We know how those Toyotas Xfinity cars run. So anyway, so he's up there in the lead. If you can catch him on the restart, kind of reel him in, you might have a chance. But if you let that 87 run wild there on the restarts, he's just going to do the same thing he did there in stage 1.
Yeah, and we're just waiting for these pace lights to go out. It looks like they should go out this time by. And they did, so we'll be going back green this time by. Only 30 laps left in this stage. So, and not a lot of tire wear on these vehicles, as they didn't even get to a half a lap before caution came out. So, still some pretty good tires on these bad boys as we get ready to go green.
Yes, sir, as we're coming up to go green here. Once again, after our first on-track caution, Justin Michael is going to lead them around the last corner here under caution. The pace lights are off of that pace car, and things are going to get cooking here once again at Texas Motor Speedway as we head down the backstretch, still under caution here, Tim, and about 100 laps to go here. I think we're going to see a few more on-track cautions. We're going to see these drivers really give it their all as these laps start to tick down here. And as mentioned, we don't have that many races here until the playoffs start, so you really want to start putting in those results. You want to really start making yourself known here in this series, making yourself known there. I just caught that 37s now up into the top 5. That's Meza up there in that 37. We saw him race the back of the pack. Now he's up there in the front of the pack. Now we see that pace car is going to round the last corner here, corner number 3 into 4. Going to peel off here. I think he's just a disgruntled race car driver that couldn't get into the field here tonight. He's going to veer off the front. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The green flag is in the air. Things are on and popping here once again in Texas in the NASRA Xfinity Series, as Justin Michael is going to lead them down into 1.
And I want to give a huge shout out to Over the Top Designs also for sponsoring the Over the Top Designs Xfinity Series right here on 10-4 Broadcasting. And look at the huge run he gets. And look at that 48. Robert Richards going to the inside of Adam Newbert. And don't look now. Also, you talked about Raw. Look who else is up here. Keith Haney in that number 78, sitting in 6th place right now.
Right there as we come around 3 into 4 right now. Keith Haney's another driver. It's been very consistent this season. Just hasn't been able to break through. About a couple races, just been tagged up in late race incidences, but always very fast there in that machine. And that was tight right there on the entry of 1. Newbert's trying to hold off for that second position right there. Has a big run happening behind him right there. Looks like Wade's going to try to make a pass to the inside here on the entry of 3. Looks like he's going to have enough to do so there, Tim, as he's going to clear Newbert by a wide margin, coming around 3 into 4.
Wow, he gained a lot there on that 87 as well. Look at Ted Wade wheeling it off of that corner. Ted Wade is on a mission, going to the inside of Justin Michael, and now Ted Wade is your new leader for the first time tonight.
As the flames are shooting off the back of that race car, he goes zooming by Justin Michael there in that 87. He says, excuse me real quick, I'm going to let these ponies run. And that is a Ford Mustang there up in the lead right now. As they're coming around corner number 4 down into the front stretch. He is now clearing Justin Michael by a wide margin. Must have found something there in that race car.
Well, I'm telling you, the transition tonight has happened. So now these cars are going to handle much different than they did during the sunlight. And I almost feel like Ted Wade's spotter was whispering in his ear, zoom, zoom. And then that was it. It just became a Suzuki commercial after that.
Yeah, this car coming off of 4 to the start-finish line here. We're going to cross that line here. Lap 55 here at Texas. Counting down the laps here right now. This is stage number 2. The next stage break will happen at lap 80. Of course, we had Justin Michael in that 87 basically lead from lap 1 to 40. There was a little bit of an interchange there for just a couple of laps. Once the 87 was able to get back up into the lead, he ran away with it, Tim. But now Ted Wade's doing that exact thing in that number 2 machine, looking nice and crispy clean, looking like the Tin Man out there. And that all-silver machine, all chromed out Ford Mustang as he crosses the start-finish line here on lap 56.
You know, it almost reminds me of when Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, I'm not sure who was in the 5 at the time, they all ran those chromed-out Hendrick Motorsports cars. Those were sweet.
Those were sweet indeed, as the 2 is making it sweet and easy here tonight. The 87 is trying to do all he can, hitting that inside lane there as we're coming off before, again to the start-finish line. Trying to still run that same line. The 87's been running all race long. Been very successful with it. But I think, Tim, if you want to catch the 2, you're going to have to try to either find a partner behind you, which he has in that 48 if the 48 wants to work with him, or you need to find a different line on the track, because if you keep trying to match these lines with the 2, you're just not going to have that speed as we dig down into 3, going around into 4.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to get back up there because the 48's not giving him a lot of push from the back, but it does look like he's sucking back up to Wade pretty well right now. Only about 0.2 off of the leader. Man, you just see those cars coming off of turn 2, getting close as they can to that wall to head down that backstretch and then dive down into turn number 3. But Ted Wade is just so good off of turn 4. Oh, that 48 got close to that wall.
Yeah, Tim, as we cross the start-finish line here on lap 59, maybe we could take an onboard ride with that 48 machine to see what he's looking at with these lead cars right in front of him as he's trying to make a run there on Justin Michael in that 87. These onboard cameras are brought to you by 10-4 Broadcasting here. And Tim, I was going to ask you, as we're taking an onboard ride here with Richards in that 48, what's your approach to these corners? Are you letting off just a little bit and getting back on? Do you want to let it a little bit more wide open? Is there any braking here at Texas? What's the way to take on these corners here at the Super Speedway?
You know, one thing I will say, Will, is every driver is different. You know, I personally, and this is probably where I get defeated a lot in iRacing, is I like to let the car coast. So basically, I'm letting off and I'm diving down into that corner with that steering wheel. I'm letting the car just roll through. I hear other guys, they're over here, they're using brakes getting through these corners. So they're probably using less, they're probably saving on their tires while I'm over here just peeling mine away like a banana peel. So it just really depends on your driving style and what you're comfortable with.
And talking about peeling away, it looks like Justin Michael has peeled away at the lead of Ted Wade, because it looks like Justin Michael is right there on that back bumper. Going to go try to the inside here on corner number 4 here, heading towards the front stretch to see if he has enough to clear right there on the inside there, Tim. It looks like he does have enough. He's going to overtake Ted Wade for that position going down to corner number 1.
Wait a second. Did I just see Santa Claus? I got to go back. Oh, no, it's not. I thought I saw his red helmet. It looked like a Santa hat. Sorry. No Santa
No
yet,
Santa
kids.
Claus.
My bad. I thought maybe he came out of hibernation to come race at Texas Motor Speedway.
Taking a look here. Now, Justin Michael has now overtaken the lead here, Tim. With 17 laps to go here in stage number 2. Battle is really between these two guys here. As the 48 of Richard, you talk about hitting the brakes around the corner. Looks like he's losing pace there in the second position. Now about a second and 3/10 off there. Lead just getting bigger as the laps go on here. Now up to almost 2 seconds there. So really just a 2-car battle up here for the lead. The rest of the field just losing pace here, Tim. Not sure what's happening up here with these top 2 cars, but it seems like this is exactly what we saw in stage 1, where it's basically a 2-car battle. And now the 87's got warmer tires, got a longer run on his hands, and now he's just starting to pull off once again.
Yeah, and that's we're seeing this, that we're going through spurts of when guys are making that transition to get around the other people. They kind of fall back, get back up there, and now look, we see it looking at Ted Wade coming right back up there again.
Yeah, these runs keep happening where Ted Wade has a big run or Justin Michael has a big run, and you get right up on the back bumper there, Tim, and almost like the draft pulls you in here as we're coming around corner number 4 here on lap 65. But if you have to check up or if you have to kind of calculate your move there, it happens just like that where you lose a lot of speed there if you have to check up or make a move. Right now as we dig down into corner number 1, you see Ted Wade's going to have another run there in that 2 machine, but just not enough to reel in that 87. The 87's going to lead the way here down the backstretch.
And that 87 just once again trying to put on a clinic, trying to go for 8 in a row in stages. What a feat that'll be.
Yeah, he's got 2 wins in 2 starts so far, trying to go for 3 in a row. But he's got a battle with Ted Wade right there. As we dig down into 1, Ted Wade has now decreased that gap just a little bit more as we head down the backstretch. We see that 87 car with a big run off of corner number 2. He's going to lead that momentum down into 3. Ted Wade in that 2 is going to try to keep pace, going to go a little bit more middle into the corner. As mentioned, you don't want to follow the same line as the leader with a big run out of Ted Wade. I saw him flying off of corner number 4, but so did Justin Michael there in that 87. Ted Wade's trying to hold that momentum there. You almost saw him brush the wall there on the entry of 1, Tim.
I want to take a look here. I'm going to bring up the last laps. Look at how close these two are. 31.44, 31.46. And then you look down at Meza and Haney, 31.69, 31.7. There's not many guys still rolling around in 31s.
Not at all, Tim. As mentioned, when those first pit stops took place there, there wasn't much tire wear. I don't even think anybody has head down pit road yet here in this series. I think maybe just a little bit of fuel, a little bit of splash and go, but as far as wear on these tires hasn't been much yet. But as this race has proceeded along, one thing is apparent, Tim, is that Justin Michael is dominant on these long runs. Once he gets up there, once he starts getting warm in the car, we saw Ted Wade there dominate for just a little bit. But once the 87 clears back up into the lead, he coasts up there. He's not really losing speed up there in the lead.
Yeah, no, he's doing a fantastic job just getting around this track, making things happen. I mean, I didn't have any doubts, but he just continues to bring it home.
Yeah, and with 10 laps to go here in stage number 2, as the 87 is going to lead us around corner number 4 onto the front stretch here at Texas Motor Speedway. Ted Wade is still trying to creep up behind him there. Shout out to TLC because he is trying to creep his way up into the lead. But it looks like he's just losing a little bit of distance there. Keeps getting big runs there on the corner. If it was anybody else he was chasing down, he would have overtaken the lead way by now. but it's just not enough there. As we're watching that back fender view there, Tim, it looks like just the twos turn into a mirage the way the 87's hitting these corners at Texas.
Listen, and he might start seeing some steer on the track. You might start seeing a nice cold drink. He's got to stay focused, though. Ted Wade's got this. And a lot of the drivers now, if you look at the times now, drop back down into the 31s again. So it's just a fact of, every lap is different, You're hitting all your marks. You're getting where you need to go, getting down into that corner. And then the next lap, you maybe slid up a lane and slowed you down a little bit. So you're just going to keep seeing these times fluctuate.
Yeah, fluctuate indeed. Just as these laps are fluctuating down, the 87 is going to take us into corner number 1. We have 7 laps to go here in stage number 2. We only have 1 on-track caution so far, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight's the 11 of Dustin Scruggs got a little sideways there, decided to skirt the corners, did a little surfing here at Texas. Now, it's hard to find a surf spot here in the great state of Texas, but he found one there on the corner. But great job for that 11 of climbing that machine back up into the top 10. We see him registered in the 7th position right now, Tim. So trying to keep that streak going, a top 5 finishes, possibly a podium if he can get up there to Adam Newbert there in the 4. That's essentially what you're racing for right now, folks, is a top 3 finish. Maybe not for first or second, but maybe for third is the best you can do currently.
Hey, a podium's a podium in my book. You'll make the sponsors happy.
Yeah.
Look at Haney up there in 4th place now.
Yeah, as well. And you see Haney up into 4th right now as well, Tim, with 5 laps to go here in stage number 2. The 87 is going to lead us down the backstretch.
And coming down the backstretch, heading into turns 3 and 4, we've only got about 5 laps to go for the end of this stage. And let's go ahead and take a look at, bring the gaps back up. Not as much distance between the leader and the last car on the lead lap this time. So, like I said, the track is changing. The track has changed, made that transition from day to night. And the only thing that's not cooled down is Justin Michael. Those tires are hot.
Yeah, those tires are burning on that thing. It's almost like NBA Jam where you make a certain amount of shots in a row. You become on fire, as they would say in NBA Jam. And definitely that 87 is on fire here tonight. As I mentioned, he is our stage 1 winner. Practically led every lap in that stage. We saw just a little bit of interchange, similar to what we've seen so far here in stage number 2. Him and Ted Wade have flip-flopped there for just a little while. Once that 87 gets up there free and clear, he just slingshots his way around this track here tonight.
Yeah, and a fantastic job wheeling that thing around. I mean, I don't. Is there anywhere this guy struggles? Maybe road courses. I don't think he's going to be challenged with the road course. Actually, let me go take a look at the season schedule. Chicagoland, Darlington, Talladega, Road America, Week 8, October 13th. That will be one to watch.
Yeah, I love it when you go to road courses. I know a lot of people don't like road courses, but I feel like that's an opportunity to really showcase the driver's skills, because everybody can dominate at oval, really drive very good here. But when it's time to really hit the road courses, you start to see the wheel movement, you start to see the braking, you really start to get everything these there at the road courses.
And that's, I went to my first road course race this year. Went to the Indy road course, and I had a lot more fun than I expected. I was thoroughly pleased, as Justin Michael is gotten the white flag this time by for stage number 2, setting another record. It's going to be 8 stages in a row.
Yeah, and he's going to do it once again in dominating fashion. Almost has about a full second lead on second place as we're coming around corner number 4. to that beautiful front stretch here at Texas Motor Speedway. And it, once again, it's going to be the 87 of Justin Michael winning stage number 2.
Ted Wade second, Newbert in third, Haney fourth, Meza in fifth, Scruggs in sixth, Richards in seventh, Morris eighth, Pappas ninth, and Abbott is going to round out your top 10. And those are the 10 guys getting bonus points here tonight for stage number 2.
Man, what a stage it was once again for Justin Michael. And I believe once again we'll get him on the radio to talk about that stage. It was a little bit different than what he went through in stage number 1. I believe he is joining us right now. And Justin Michael, we got you on the radio here at 10-4 Broadcasting. You got a copy down there?
Yes, sir.
Man, a little bit different than what you went through in stage number 1. You didn't really clear the way. You had to fight Ted Wade up there in the lead. What's making this 87 so fast here tonight?
I tell you, I think the nighttime's helping him a lot. He was fast in practice at the night. We really like the daytime, but I don't know, just consistency, saving the tires, man. That's about all it is, and just being able to get in front at the right time, give them the bad air, and we get the good air. So
you talk about good air. We saw you battling out with Ted Wade there for just a little bit. You let Ted have the lead there for a while, let him kind of pull off. Was that sort of just a strategy of saving tires? Did you know that once that run kind of ticked down a little bit more, that you would have the speed to catch him, not only catch him, but win that stage over a second?
Yeah, I mean, if they want the lead early on, they can have it. I'm not going to fight that. I'll fight it with 10 to go, but not with 40 to go in a stage. So just got to keep the tires under you. That's key here. I mean, this place eats tires.
Yeah, and with this endurance race, you got about 70 laps to go, a little under 70 laps to go.
Oh, Newbert misses his pit box.
Yeah, and missed his pit box there. I know you can't see it there in that 87 machine, but what do you think it's going to take here to wrap up this the race here tonight and make it 3 in a row?
Just kind of keep doing what we're doing, trying to stay out front here, and let them fight it out early. We'll just keep the tires under it, and hopefully we'll be able to pass them at the end.
Awesome, Justin. We appreciate you taking the time with us here, man. I'm sure we'll speak to you soon, whether it's in victory lane or on the podium here. I'm sure you're going to have one heck of a finish here in these next 70 laps. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
That was Justin Michael there in that 87, win stage 1 and 2 here tonight, Tim. And I don't think there's really anything that can stop that 87 here tonight other than just himself.
Well, this is where things are going to get interesting. Because now you're gonna have to make a green flag pit stop, and that can make or break some guys. So we will see how it goes. Because what I've seen is sometimes the leader could be coming down pit road and he accidentally get run over by the guy behind him, no fault of his own, but that can end your night right there.
Indeed, Tim. With 70 laps to go, are you doing a full refresh of these race cars, throwing freshies on there, throwing everything on there, getting ready to go here in these next 70 laps, or are you kind of strategizing there towards we've had so far lap 80, so just about the same amount of laps here to close things out? Do you kind of want to pan out those pit stops? Maybe take 2 tires here, maybe a little bit of fuel, or you just want to do a full refresh of that car?
I pretty much do what the Indianapolis Colts did, and I'd take 4 fresh ones and get rid of the kicker right after the football game. Just the fresh start, starting over. You want to be as fast as you can out there on this restart, because here's the problem. We've seen it so far. We've only had 1 caution, and you do not want to be that guy that gets stuck out there on 2 tires and a full tank of fuel, and you got to try to make that car last to the pit stop. And you can see right now that 87 is riding around on that apron. He's trying to save as much fuel as he can, and I'm going to go see if we can't catch on board. I bet he's turning off that vehicle, or at least pushing in the clutch and just coasting. Yeah, he's turning it off. He's turning this vehicle entirely off, saving fuel on this pace lap. I know you can't hear it, but the viewers can hear the engine entirely shut off and then come back on. You can see the RPMs at 0 right now. This is literally a technique that we use in iRacing to just push our fuel as far as we can.
Yeah, that's a great move there from that 87. As we talked about it with him just a second ago, he's running the conserving game here tonight, conserving tires, conserving fuel. And it's worked out perfectly for him here tonight, Tim, because in these long runs, he just takes off. And when he takes off, whether you use that draft, whether you have a teammate there on the track, it is extremely difficult to catch this 87 the way he's able to conserve and then use it all there in the long runs.
It really is, and it's something that I need to practice on. And watching these races really helps me become better myself. And I learn a lot from these guys up here in the booth. I may not be on the track with them, but I'm telling you, I'm listening to everything they're doing, watching how they handle every situation, and I've tried to put it to practice myself.
As we come around the last corner here, under caution. Our third caution here, our second stage break. We only have one on-track caution, but that green flag is in the air once again here on Texas, here live on 10-4 broadcasting. It is waving once again as Justin Michael in the 87 is going to rocket off this restart down into corner number 1.
And what a great restart for him. I mean, that just left everybody in the dust. Ted Wade there. Dustin Scruggs back up to third. Look at that. Keith Haney, P4, baby. Up 10 spots since the drop of the green flag. And these guys are getting single file, but also trying to get runs to get around each other because they know this could be the last time they are this close to the guys at the front. And look, Ted Wade and Justin Michael have checked out from these next three.
Yeah, right there. Ted Wade and Justin Michael are 1-2. It's easy as 1-2-3. Shout out to the Jackson 5 right there. But it's a 2. It takes 2 to battle, and there's 2 battling out here at the top of the pack. Ted Wade makes a big move there, heading off of 2 down in the backstretch. Going to overtake Justin Michael there into 3. Around 4. It's now Ted Wade, our race leader here at Texas.
Man, what a power move. Goes to the outside. We've not seen many. I don't know if we've seen any passes to the outside here tonight. And that was a pass on the outside off of turn 2, which is very dangerous, especially on fresh tires because everybody's so loose. They don't start tightening up for a couple of laps. But Ted Wade on a mission to show Justin Michael how it's done.
Yeah, and with that, Ted Wade clearing Justin Michael there in that 87. Looks like the 4 of Adam Newbert has now caught that backdraft coming off that 87 because he was trying to make a run on that 87 himself. But as we just talked about, Tim, just a little while ago with Justin Michael there in that 87, he's okay with this. He's okay with Ted Wade taking the lead for a little bit. If he wants to lead early in this run, go ahead and take it, run around the track, make your sponsors look good, make your car look good. Because that 87 is going to come running here once again once these laps start to tick down. So I wonder if Ted Wade has that in his little strategy book inside that race car that, okay, it's cool to have the lead now. The fans are going to wave their hats at me as I'm going to go around here down into 1. But once these laps start to tick down, the 87 is again going to make that run. But I think the 87 has to keep in mind as we're heading down the backstretch here, he's going to conserve. He's going to try to take it easy here to begin this run. But with that, you have a lot of guys that are hungry behind this 87 that really haven't had a chance all race long. Looking past the 87 of Michael, you got Newber up there in the 4, you got Dustin Scruggs in the 11, you got Haney in the 78, and they're right there behind him, Tim.
Mm-hmm. And now the 87, I think he's probably going into kind of save mode. Because he knows we're at lap 91. You still got over 60 laps to go here at Texas, and you could be dealing with those 60 laps under green flag conditions. And so right now he's just kind of laying back, comfortable in P2 because he knows he's not going to win the race. This next pass he puts on Ted Wade, no, he's got to think long term. He's got to think, I got to get through this pit stop. I got to get through these 60 laps, and I got to keep the car intact and not get into any scuffles with anybody on the track.
Oh, we're single file down that backstretch right now. No scuffles right now to call out, as right now we're starting to see just a little bit of separation between everybody on the track. Everybody's just in a single file line as we come off of corner number 4 across the start finish line here on lap number 93 here, live on 10-4 broadcast. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. All 3 of those guys at the same time, bringing you live action out of the NASRA Xfinity Series, the over-the-top designs NASRA Xfinity Series right now, as it's still Ted Wade leading the race here in that 2 machine. We've seen it just a little bit here, folks. If you're tuning in late to the broadcast, Justin Michael has been the dominator here. Ted Wade's came on strong here. The second half of the race is overtaking for the lead. But in that last stage, number 2, Ted Wade just couldn't hold on as the 87 overtook, led the last, I'd say, about 25 laps there, Tim, to end out that stage. Came away with his 8th stage victory in a row. He's got 2 race wins in a row heading into Texas here tonight, trying to make it 3 in a row. But as we just spoke to him, Tim, he's okay right now. Just chilling, just taking it easy there in second, with Adam Newbert behind him as well as Dustin Scruggs in that 11. And Dustin Scruggs is a dog. He is trying to put that 11 in victory lane. He is at the top of the table. But I'm sure he checks those stats, looks at that table, and he goes, "Man, it's cool to be at the top. It'll also be pretty cool to have this 11 with a 1 in the win column there, Tim." But right now, Ted Wade's not looking like he's easing up any at all, coming off of 4 here on lap number 95.
And Ted Wade has been a driver that we've talked about week in and week out. That number 2 car has been on top of the charts many times in the past 3 weeks. Just hasn't been able to get it done. He's been collected in other people's wrecks, and just like you said earlier in the broadcast, this series, this league, hands down gives some of the best racing because of this no fast repair rule. You've really got to take care of your stuff. You can't just go out here full throttle, hit the wall every lap, and just go.
No, not at all. And I love that rule in these series, because a few of these series that I've seen here on iRacing, you have unlimited fast repairs, or you have 1 or 2, and that's still, I think, more of a disadvantage. You get in a wreck, you tangle up with somebody, you're still going to be mad that you got tangled up, but not as mad because you can have a fast repair and get your race car right back out there. So it's a little bit of it's a funny thing for me. It's almost like when you play on All Madden or All Pro and you take it all the way down to rookie on Madden and you're scoring touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. There's really no competition, if you will, Tim, with all those fast repairs.
Yeah, it offers a different kind of racing when you have fast repairs. I understand it. I understand why people do what they do, offering that. But NASRA has always proven that you don't have to have fast repairs to have great races.
Not at all, Tim. As we were talking about there, about those fast repairs, it looks like that 2 car is sort of sliding out of the corners. He may have made that thing just a little bit more loose. You see it right there. See that back end almost slide just a little bit on the exit of 4. We have now crossed the century mark here live from Texas Motor Speedway. Lap 100. We have 50 laps to go here in week number, I believe this is week number 4 here, Tim.
Yep.
But you see that 2 machine. We're keeping an eye out on the leader here of Ted Wade. That back end almost slides a little bit when he exits these corners. It could be the advantage he has of why he's pulled out to the lead so far.
Yeah, because loose is fast. Oh, that seems pretty close.
Maybe too loose there.
Loose is fast, but even Kyle Larson has showed us that loose can be dangerous in that outside lane. That's something else I'll say, Will. With these no fast repairs, you've had to say the danger zone much less in this series because nobody's trying to push the envelope in that middle lane.
No, and only 1 on-track caution so far here, and as mentioned, that was Dustin Scruggs decided to do a little surfing there on the corner. Didn't tag anybody else either, Tim. It was a single car accident. Right, hitting some waves, brah, here at Texas Motor Speedway. Just didn't tag anybody else there. He's okay on the track. And in some leagues that we call, Tim, they wouldn't even have thrown the caution. So
Yeah,
in this instance, they did.
I
So
think it was a difficult decision because technically he didn't get into anybody, but there was the possibility that he could have collected somebody if a caution did not come out.
yeah, talk about cautions here. Ted Wade is now cautiously leading the race here by almost over a second
Don't look
on
behind.
Justin Michael there in the 87. As I just mentioned that, he just gained about 20 tenths of a second there in about a half a lap. Here comes that 87,
Look at
folks. He
that.
talked about it. At the end of stage 2, he talked about how he was going to conserve. He's going to take his time. He's going to let Ted Wade make that 2-car look good up there in the lead. But just like Ludacris, he is coming for that number 1 spot here. He's going to try to overtake the 2 here with 46 laps to go here, folks. This thing is about to get crazy.
Yeah, and he is much faster than Ted Wade. Last lap was a 31.38, while Wade ran a 31.58. This time by, it was 31.51 for Wade and 31.42 for Michael. So this time by, I expect Michael to be even faster than Ted Wade. Yep, by a whole tenth again. So Wade's loosest fast scenario might be coming to a close.
Taking a look here right now, we have 45 laps to go here from Texas Motor Speedway. Ted Wade is still leading the way there in that 2 machine. Across the line here at lap 106, Justin Michael in that 87's starting to close pace just a little bit there as we come around 1 and 2, heading towards that backstretch right now. And he is still trying to race up there into that lead there, Tim. We'll see heading down into corner number 3 if that gap gets even smaller right now. Yeah, he's definitely running faster lap times there in that 87. So that 87 is going to close this gap right now. Heading down to corner number 1, that 87 has now come into the vision of the 2.
Man, this is going to get tight. And the thing about this, we're going to be getting close to green flag pit stops here. As these guys right now, 1, 2, they are about 3-4 seconds ahead of third place. Man.
Yeah, they're really taking off from the rest of the field here, Tim. We're cutting these laps down. We're on lap 108, and there he is. The 87 is right there on the back bumper of Ted Wade. He has caught him there, ladies and gentlemen, from just being behind about a full second, not but a lap or 2 ago. He's going to try to the inside, fall right back behind the 2, heading down into corner number 3. The 87 is going to think about going low. He's going to stay there. He's going to go a little bit mid on the corners, coming around corner number 4 right now. The 87 is going to try to use this run. Going to go low right there to cross that start-finish line. He's going to try to ride that low side into corner number 1 as the 87 is going to try to overtake here on the corner. Looks like he's going to try to inch around the 2, and he does with ease, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to clear that 2, heading towards that backstretch. You'll see if he's going to try to maintain position here. Looks like we're drag racing down the front stretch, but that 87 clears with no problem. And now Justin Michael has now overtaken, putting that 87 back where it belongs all race long here. Shout out to Lionel Richie, because all night long he has had that 87 up there in the position.
All night. I swear. I want to apologize, everybody. I have a lack of sleep here tonight. But I couldn't miss the action here at the North American Sim Racing Association NASRA 150 here at Texas Motor Speedway. Want to give a huge shout out to Over the Top Designs for sponsoring this series. Also, Will, we want to give a huge shout out to our boys over at Admin Box as well.
Oh yeah, definitely a huge shout out indeed. If you haven't checked them out, definitely go check them out at Admin Box. That's 2 X's at the end of that, adminbox.com. You can find them on Discord and Facebook as well. Discord, you can go holler at Fish. If there's a cooler Discord name out there, let me know, because I believe he has the best one out there here on Discord. He is the Admin Box founder. He'll build them He'll customize them, whatever you need. If you're an admin, if you're race control, anything that you do in iRacing, he can build that thing to your specifications there, from the button mapping, everything down to the colors, to the layout, everything down there is lit. I mean, you can have it in the dark. You don't have to have any kind of special cables or anything. You just plug that thing in and you're ready to rock and roll here, Tim. I believe now we have a little bit of separation. Let's run that beautiful commercial and we'll be right back here to close things out here in Texas.
And just like that, Will, we are back. Not sure why.
Here
My ticker won't come back.
go, as there's no reason to even have it up there, because I think
Pit
the
stops.
folks at home know who Justin Michael, the 87, still lead the way here, as we're seeing a few cars head down pit road, maybe just trying to get it out of the way here. As you see Adam Newbert on the 4 is going to come out of pit road here under green. A few other guys are down pit road as well. It could just be a strategy to make sure race car stand. The other have to head down pit road as well.
Yeah, so lap 114 looks like we started seeing pit stops. So we'll see when these leaders decide to go, because the longer they stay out, those other guys are going to close the gap. So right now you're looking at about 45 laps would be left. Dustin Scruggs now down pit road in that number 11. James Morris coming off of pit road. Nathan Smith coming down pit road. Trying to see Dustin Scruggs here. Looks like he made it to his pit box safely. And back up front, Justin Michael, still your leader, still out on the track. 9th place on down. Oh! And the 24's in the wall.
And that's going to change thing here, folks. No caution yet on the track, as it looks like we have a car down pit road right now, Tim. And no caution yet for that 24 making friends with that outside wall.
Man.
Head down
Friends,
pit road.
I'm pretty sure they got married.
They
Bang,
became
bang, boogie.
Close acquaintances there, that 24 and the outside wall there on lap 117.
Man, that was a hard hit, and in front of the leader too. You gotta, you know what? We're gonna go back and take a look at a replay of that, because we're gonna ride the onboard of Justin Michael in that situation, because as the leader, like, that's something you don't want to see, and that'll scare you every time. Ted Wade is down pit road now. I'll keep you guys updated as I set this up for us here. Come back to look at this. Look, he's coming off the corner. 24, bam, outside of the wall. And the leader's just like, all right, I'm going to go right around to the outside. But that gets scary.
It does, Tim. It does indeed. As mentioned, we've only had one on-track caution here so far, and that was the 11 of Dustin Scruggs. Got sideways all by himself, didn't make any other contact with any other race cars there. Just had a Kid Cudi moment there. He was living solo dolo, his own best style there. Didn't collect anybody else, just saved that race car here on the track, but no change up here in the lead, as we now see the leader is going to head down pit road. Justin Michael is going to head down pit road here on lap 119. Going to get this last pit stop out of the way, Tim. And if you were the leader there in the 87, what are you doing here on this last pit stop?
Well, I think you got to go with 4 fresh ones, especially as a leader. You're really good, so you get those 4 fresh ones, get back out there, and anything you need to make up, you will. As Keith Haney assumes the lead right now, and that's 78. We'll take a look here. Right sides went up, left sides are up. So, yep, 4 fresh ones for the 87. And down and away, 30 laps to go here.
With 30 laps to go, we'll see how this all shakes out here at Texas Motor Speedway. As you see, Haney now on that 78 is going to head down pit road here. Love the rims there on that 78 machine. A bright yellow paint job there on those rims. I love it when the drivers paint the rims. Reminds me of the old Red Bull racing days between AJ Allmendinger and Scott Speed. Those cars used to look awesome there with those red Bull racing team rims on those cars. That was a tongue twister there, Tim. Didn't even think about it before it started coming out.
Something happened with Ted Wade. He's a lap down in 11th place.
I'm seeing 2 laps down on the grid now.
That's Smith.
You see. Yep, and just got a lap back there, Wade. Something must have happened there, but
Yeah. I'm trying to look at...
oh, caution, caution, caution.
Oh,
caution
the
on the track.
24!
We have a caution on the track here, ladies and gentlemen. Our 4th caution of the night, our 2nd on-track caution there, and that is the 24 machine there that we just saw have a little mishap not too long ago. It's gonna, oh man, just looked like he was skating on ice there. Went totally sideways there, Tim.
Oh!
Man,
Oh,
hard
man.
impact.
The
Hard
50...
impact to the inside wall.
Ooh, we got to go ride with that guy. Who was that? The 55 of James Haney. He was the leader. Watch this. This is the current leader right now. He's coming through the corner. And, oh, no, that was not James Haney. Who was that almost ran into him? I apologize. I just, I want us to be able to... Oh, that's the 51. Oh, my gosh. All right, there we go. This is the 51 of Nathan Smith riding on board. You see the 24 right there. Gets loose, smacks that inside wall.
Man, that 51 just slithered on by the 24 there after that hard impact to the inside wall. That 51 is definitely sweating on the wheel the way he was able to avoid that wreck there. But right now, that's going to basically simmer down the action here at Texas Motor Speedway. We're under caution here. Only our 2nd on-track caution of the night, our 4th caution overall, including those stage breaks. But with that, Tim, you're going to have quite the battle up here with this restart with 25 or even less than that. We're probably looking at around 23, 22 laps to go here. It's going to be quite the battle here to keep that 87 out of victory lane.
You know, quite a few guys came down pit road. Only Justin, Michael, Keith Haney, and Rawl did not.
To keep an eye out for that here when we wrap things up.
And
here.
Ted Wade got his lap back as well.
Yep, got his lap back here, back on the lead lap as this caution lap continues here as the pace car is going to lead us down into corner number 3. With 4 laps to go, you have a new mix of faces up there in that lead pack. Of course, the 87 of Justin Michael, who we've called out all night long there in that 87. But then you have Haney up there.
Keith?
Name you've been calling out all night in that 78, but it looks like he's going to head...
I think he's saving fuel.
He's saving fuel there, and a good move there in that 78. Then you have Meza in that 37, who's been really consistent all season long. Just another driver that's really hungry for a win. He's now up into 3rd. You got Newbert up there in 4th and Abbott in 5th.
I have a question. Hold on. Why do the Toyotas get an awesome dashboard? Look, okay, yeah, look, I just noticed this. I was like, why does everything look so different? Okay, there's Justin Michaels, and you go to Keith Haney, and it just doesn't look as cool. I never noticed that before. I'm a little upset. Oh, and then the Chevrolet has a different one than the Ford. Listen, okay, everybody knows I only drive Chevrolets, so I've never seen any other dashboard but this. Yeah.
That's probably why the Toyotas are so fast on the track, Tim, just because the drivers look good, they feel good, and they race good in those Toyotas.
Well, while we're under caution, Will, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to go check out our friends over at Admin Box, and we'll be right back after this. And we are back here at Texas Motor Speedway. Uh, Will, I think we're just crossing the mark for 24 laps to go here. Nobody's going to need to come down pit road anymore. 25 laps to go. I misstated that. Um, as a driver, what are you looking to do here on this restart? If you're not Justin Michael,
Yeah, right.
what are
If
you
you're
trying
not
to
the guy
do?
who's dominated all night long. No, I think as a driver right now, you want to try everything you can to keep that 87 from jumping on these restarts. You've seen it so far here tonight, folks. Even with the only couple on-track cautions or the stage breaks, if you will, the 87's been able to launch. I think if you're Haney or if you're Meza or if you're Newbert, you kind of want to use some of that side draft. You want to keep that 87 in your point of view right there. Maybe even bump them a little bit, but just a friendly bump, not the most meanest bumps of all time, but you want to keep that
You know,
87 in your reach. If you let the 87 take off, I think we're going to see these next 25 laps just tick off, and it's just going to be a victory parade for that 87.
here's the problem. iRacing doesn't let you do little bumps because then they give you net code, and then it's a big problem.
This is true. It's true. The net code, a definition there's no such thing as little bumps. As we come around corner number 4 here, the pace lights are off of that pace car. As we see that pace car head down pit road here, folks. As we're going to go back green here with 25 laps to go here. We're going to have a 25 lap shootout as Justin Michael is going to take them across the start-finish line. Another big restart of the 87 as we're going to dig down to corner number 1.
Really good restart for that 78 of Keith Haney. He didn't let Adam Newbert get to the inside of him to take over second place. So now it's a battle back here for second, third, and fourth. We've got Keith, Adam, Rawl, Phil Pappas, and we got a caution. Ted Wade. Oh, no.
Bubba, no. As you see, Ted Wade is now missing that front grille of that race car. It looks so beautiful throughout the race, that chromed out number 2 machine. And now he's wondering where that hood exactly went. Some fan is now leaving with an awesome souvenir of that race car.
Maybe he'll autograph it.
Yeah, he's just stumbling around the track here tonight. Man, we're just curious to see what happened.
We're going to go back all the way to the green flag. And we're going to stay back here because I saw the 47 spun around. The 2 is obviously involved. So we're just going to go back here from the restart and see what happened. See, they're coming through the corner. 47's up there. Oh, it was a chain reaction. The 48's involved. Oh, man, he couldn't get slowed up. We'll try to, we're going to go back and we're going to ride on board with Ted Wade on this one. Gets a good restart. He had to let off because he was going to get around that 51. Coming through turns 1. He's looking really good. Dives to the inside of the 51. You look up just in front. The 55 gets sideways, comes down, hit the 47. Wade checks up, but nowhere for him to go but into the back of that 47.
Just unfortunate here.
We talked about that, Will. We said that Ted Wade has kept running into situations at the end of these things.
Yeah, and that's very unfortunate for Ted Wade. Looking at last week's race there at Phoenix, you saw Ted Wade right there. We're looking at he finished 12th in that race. It's not the best finish there. You go back to Auto Club, you look at Ted Wade again in that 2 machine. he finished down into 15th position. So, really coming into this week hoping for a better run. You even look back at the first week, he finished second. So he really put forth an effort there in that first race, but then ever since then, it's just not gone his way here tonight, Tim. We've seen him here all night long, running up there in that lead pack, even leading a couple laps here tonight.
Yep.
So it's curious to see what may have happened with that two machine of Ted Wade, and unfortunately, it's just not going to be his night here once again.
Yeah, but I mean, Lady of Bad Luck can't strike every week, can she?
I don't know.
That was a long pause. Will doesn't want to answer this one, guys. He wants no part in
No,
this.
I don't want to put any. I don't want to put any commentators on 87 the way he's dominated. I mean, what an impressive so far. The 3 starts in this series. This is his 3rd start, but he's got 2 starts, 2 wins so far, going for a 3rd in a row here tonight. In impressive fashion, Tim, he virtually led all of stage 1, stage 2. He let Ted Wade lead a little bit, overtook stage 2 again, leading the last about 15, 20 laps or so. Now in the lead here once again with 20 laps to go. This has been the furthest run we've had so far in this race, for about 70-odd laps here to end things out. Again, that 87 has just found his way back up to the front. And the way he's just hitting these lines here tonight, as I mentioned there on that last restart, you've got to try something different here. You've got to try to either use that side draft, wiggle him a little bit going out into the corner, anything to try to keep him in your, because we saw it there on that restart. He was starting to pull away once again.
Yep. It's just gonna be it's gonna be interesting. Because these guys want to race respectful, but they also want that win.
Yeah. And we're going to tick down here as this pace car is going to lead us across that start-finish line here. Once again, we're going to tick down to 20 laps to go. And the way this 87 has been running around this track here tonight, that's going to be a quick 20 laps. As you now see, the pace lights are off of that pace car. The driver is going to go ahead and line up side by side here for this last 20 laps or so. Man, Tim, it's going to be quite the shootout to end things here at Texas.
It really is. And listen, only 5 cautions, 150 laps, 5 cautions. I just hats off to Brady LaBeouf and everything he's done over at NAS. Well, it just sounds better when I say NASRA, the National Association of Stock Car. Wait,
North American
Sim Racing Association. Oh my gosh. I can't even say it. Brady LaBeouf is going to fire me and kick me out of the truck team on Friday nights. But it just does a great job. Every series that these guys put on, it's fantastic racing. Also, want to give a huge shout out to what they're putting together on their end. They're putting together a NASRA 360 network to where they can ultimately put together their own broadcast on the fly. So say they have a recruitment race, they can throw it up whenever they want. Say they do a series, they can throw it up. And so they're just great job over there. I've been helping the Cody with that stuff. But green flag is back in the air. Oh, man. Big run for that 87. Haney didn't get as a good start as last time, but he forced Adam to stay behind him, so that really helped him. Rawl is to the outside of the 4. He's dropping back. Oh, he's getting close to that wall.
Yeah, right now it's just
caution.
we have a caution. Caution on the track.
James Haney.
No. Let's see what may have happened there. As I mentioned, Tim, when it close things out here, things are going to get a little bit more hot and heavy. Oh, man, just the same corner that's eating up a few drivers here tonight.
Same corner, same driver. Because it was the 55 that got loose on the last caution that caused that chain reaction and collected the 2 and collects the 2 again.
And we saw the 24 coming off the same corner not too long ago that made contact with that same inside wall there. So something about coming off of corner number 2. We've seen it here. We saw Ted Wade before Justin Michael overtook for the lead there. We saw that back end kind of sliding from him there a little bit. And the way the skillful driver that he is, of course, he was able to maintain and keep the lead. But for some of these other drivers, not that they're less skillful or anything, but if the car's way more loose there on the exit of those corners, it is like skating on ice there, Tim. You have to wiggle that thing right back when you're coming off those corners. And for some of these drivers, you're getting a 90-degree angle. We saw Dustin Scruggs battle that with the 11. So the 24 have to battle that as well, made contact, and we just saw it there once again.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's just a product of, the tires getting warm, cooling off, warming back up, and it's just so hard to stay in the gas in the corners. And that's just a product of getting back up to speed. Who, with winding down the laps, who are you really watching to put a challenge on Michael?
Man, that is a tough question right here. We're gonna have to see something. Not to quote marvelous Miss Maisel here, but something marvelous is gonna have to happen for any of these drivers to have a shot at the 87. In my book, if I had to guess anybody, it's gonna have to be Haney right there in that second position. I know that's kind of an obvious pick there, Tim, but I really feel like if that 87 gets another restart, it's the way he's done all night long. It's really only going to be second place that's going to have a shot at him. Anybody behind that 78, the 78's of course going to try to hold on to that second position, try to hold off Newbert there in that 4, or even Meza in that 37. But it's going to have to be that 78 there that makes a run, because if not, that 87 is just going to have an easy breeze to victory lane.
And the 78, I understand why you chose him. He's up 13 spots since the drop of the green flag. It's a no-brainer to choose him because every week in and week out he's been near the front. He just hasn't been able to pull off one of those wins yet. And if there's anybody I think that could, that's who I was going to go with.
Gonna be just like me when you grow up, Tim. That's okay. As we see, the pace lights are now off of that pace car. Oh, they might be still on there, Tim. Yeah, we're still under caution here. Our sixth caution of the night. We're going to run about 2 more laps under caution. And with that, I believe we're going to jump to commercial. We'll be right back for the conclusion of this race here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Okay, we're not. The button is not going. So, on that note, we really do want to thank all the sponsors. Want to thank Over the Top Designs for jumping on board for this Xfinity series. They came on, I want to say two races ago, Will, I believe. Shout out to them. Shout out to Admin Box. We've dealt with Admin Box for, man, quite a few of our series actually. Over VRA. Are they at Haas? I don't remember. I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think they're just wanting to get into Haas here. I know they're part of VRA and a few other series. Speaking with Fish here today, he said he's actually joined about 40 odd leagues there. So
Wow.
definitely getting his name out with the Admin Box. And what a cool device that is, Tim. I've never seen, I'm very new to iRacing, so a lot of these things are a little bit over the top. Not to quote over the top designs there, but with all these intricate things, steering wheel feedback and all these different things that you have to worry about if you're racing in the sim. Admin Box makes it as easy as possible. If you're an admin or race control of these races, you just plug that thing right into your USB port. That thing's lit up, so you can race in a dark room if you have to hide from the wifey or the kids or anything like that while you're playing iRacing. And for those admins that sit out the races, that watch their teammates or watch their friends race around as they're having to throw yellow flags, black flags, add laps, you can do that while you're driving, Tim. You can put that thing next to your wheel. You can use all your buttons while you're driving around. You don't have to worry about sitting out these races anymore. You can actually be involved and still be race control. As right now, Michael in that 87 is still coming down the backstretch here. Pace car is still leading them down into corner number 3. We're about to go green flag racing here once again with 15 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. It has been the Justin Michael show up there in that 87. But Haney is going to have something to say here to close things out here, Tim.
I hope he does. Excuse me, that came out of nowhere. I'm really excited for this restart. Got Keith Haney up there, Raw, Newbert, Robert Richards back up there. He's had a great night in that 48. Green flag is in the air. Raw looks like he spun the tires a little bit, but he still got a good restart on that outside lane. Come back here, watch this
Ooh.
side by side. It's
Right
gonna
there,
get
as
tight.
Haney's going to try to dip down into corner number 1 right now. Justin Michael in that 87 has now cleared that 78. 78 is going to try to keep pace. He has separated himself from Adam Newbert, who scrapes that wall on the exit of 2. The 78 has his sights set on the 87 of Justin Michael up there. Is he going to have enough with 14 laps to go as we come off of corner number 4 here to the start finish line? That 78 knows that he has to catch that 87 to have any hope of putting that car into victory lane. But with that, the 87 is beginning to separate just a little bit. With that 78 trying to catch up, he sees Adam Newbert in that 4 right behind him as we head down the backstretch.
That Newbert he had a really good run off of 4 there on that last lap, trying to get around that 78 so he can see if he can't maybe track down Michael. And if I was Haney, I have to start wondering, do I let the 4 go by to track down the 87 and maybe they race so hard that it pulls them into him? Maybe?
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't look like that's happening as the 4 is going to try to make a move here to the inside on the backstretch. The 4 is going to use that inside lane there on the entry of 3. Going to try to clear the 78 as the 78 looked to get a little loose there on the corner. Now the 4 is going to have that tough job of chasing down the 87 of Justin Michael here with 11 laps to go as we dig down into corner number 1.
Man, and this race just flew by. Just really great job by Justin Michael once again. Adam Newbert in second, Keith Haney in third, Robert Richards in fourth, and don't look behind Robert Richards because it's a whole gaggle of cars trying to get up there to get a podium. Oh, and they scraped the wall.
Oh! We saw sparks flying here at Texas Motor Speedway with 10 laps to go past that leader of the 87 here. A lot of these drivers are still trying to race for position here tonight.
Is the sun coming up? We were just in total darkness, and we must be doing the 12 hours of Texas.
Yeah, it's barbecue time here at Texas. It went from nighttime to morning time here at Texas Motor Speedway. As you see, the 82 is going to get loose off of 4 there. Right in that gaggle of drivers there, Tim. I love that vocabulary word you use there, gaggle. I'm going to start using that a little bit more because we are seeing a gaggle full of drivers right here as Dustin's and that 11 trying to hold off the 37.
Oh, man.
Right
Raw keeps just scraping that wall in that number 37. Back up front, let's see. It doesn't look like Newbert's been able to take anything off of that lead. Still 2 seconds behind the leader. Man.
You see right now, Tim, that lead has now expanded to almost over 2.5 seconds right now. So that 87 is definitely having a nice little victory lap around the track. But we've seen things happen before, Tim. If a caution comes out, it's just definitely going to be a reshuffle of the race.
Yep. It looks like Ted Wade will come away with a top 10 maybe here tonight. Possibly sitting P10 right now.
So hold on to position in that 2 car. It's unfortunate though because we saw that 2 car leading laps here tonight in the NASRA Xfinity Series, the over-the-top designs NASRA Xfinity Series here. With 6 laps to go, it is definitely going to be Justin Michael who's going to try to get that smoked turkey dinner here. I'm sure they're mixing up the barbecue sauces down in Victory Lane to get ready to smoke some turkey here tonight because he is going for 3 wins in a row. 3 starts, 3 wins. Trying to be like the Golden State Warriors here in the NASRA Xfinity Series. Going to go 3 for 3 here as they're coming around corner number 4 here. He's going to cross this line here with 5 laps to go.
Oh, man. I got to go over to YouTube and go ban some users.
right now. We're coming around onto the backstretch here off of corner number 2. You see that gap if you're watching along with us here at 10-4 Broadcasting, as Justin Michael's going to dig down into corner number 3, around 4, and just then we saw that second place driver of Newbert right there in that 4 machine. But here we go, folks, and across this line here with 4 laps to go. The 87 is going to take us down into corner number 1.
Yeah, 4 laps to go. That 87 has now extended his lead to over 3 seconds over second place. I mean, you can barely see them in the back there.
Yeah, he has definitely extended that lead as the laps are ticking down. This 87 has been very strong on these long runs all night long. Shout out to Lionel Richie because it has been
All
the
night.
87 in the lead all night long up there as we dig down now with 3 laps to go. Throw those threes up. Rest in peace to Dale Earnhardt because the 87 is going to take us down to corner number 1. Around 2 now onto that beautiful backstretch here at Texas Motor Speedway. And he's starting to see those stars and stripes. He's starting to see that victory lane in his sights. He's starting to see those cold beers, that smoked turkey down in victory lane. Because if he wins here tonight, folks, that will be... And that's a winner turkey dinner.
Man, 2 laps to go. How do you feel as... Say you're Justin Michael, you pop into this league, you miss week 1, you come out, you win the next 2, and you're going on to your 3rd win right now. You just, you got to feel good.
You're feeling Tony the Tiger great in that car because with 1 lap to go now as he crosses the start-finish line, this will be 3 starts and 3 wins. As Tim just said, he missed the first race of the season. But that is no worries because he's heading down into corner number 1 and corner number 2 onto this backstretch right now, cruising his way around Texas Motor Speedway en route to his 3rd win in a row, ladies and gentlemen, as he digs down into corner number 3. This is practically a victory lap for the 87 for all those fans to wave those hats, to wave those shirts at him as he heads down the front stretch, and he's going to cross the start-finish line here, the winner of the Texas Motor Speedway race, week number 4 here in the over-the-top designs NASRA Xfinity Series.
Man, with style, almost 4 seconds ahead of second place. Newbert's going to come home in 2nd. Haney is going to be your 3rd place podium finisher. Great race. And, Will, I know I said this last week, and I will say it every single week. I don't care. I love when we get races like this where we get really long green flag runs.
Yeah, green flag racing was that everybody loves to see there on the broadcast. So what we love to see as well. Prolong the race, but it is time to prolong this burnout here for Justin Michael in that 87. He's going to burn down those Goodyear Eagles right there on the start-finish line. As mentioned, this is his 3rd win in a row. The turkeys are a goblin because this is a turkey dinner. 3. That was pretty good there, Tim. Tim just slid down. He's just as good burnouts as he is winning races.
I've seen the Weekend Woodsman commercial too many times.
Ooh, that's a good shot right there, Tim, of that 87. That is, and he's doing my favorite type of burnout where you put that nose against the outside wall.
It's great.
And what an impressive performance it was.
Just killing it.
Yeah, just interchange just a few times.
I'm going to have to perfect that burnout. Of course, I don't be winning too many times.
That is a very nice burnout, Tim.
I've caught up with Keith Haney of that number 78. Keith, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, man, listen, week in and week out, you're on my list to win a race. And it doesn't matter where you start, you're always there at the end. Take me through how your night went tonight.
Hey, man, first off, I appreciate the kind words right there. I definitely try real hard. These guys are on another level, man. Justin and Ted, these guys are hard to keep up with. You'll burn your stuff up trying to keep up with these guys. And that's ultimately what happened with me tonight. But started in the back and was hoping just kind of to get a feel for the track. I didn't have much time to practice, so I wanted to kind of take my time and learn what I could off some of these guys. And I worked my way through the field, and right there with those last caution that came out, those few last cautions that came out, I seen Adam. He went in there and he got fresh tires. I knew that he was gonna be on my tail there, giving the closing laps. And man, I shout out to him for sure for running me down. I tried to give him some room. Hopefully he could run old Justin down, but that damn guy was just too fast.
Hey, I mean, you look at where you started and where you finished. I mean, you managed the race the exact way you needed to. You stayed out of trouble, uh, far away from trouble, actually. Most of the time it finds you, but not tonight. You know, just I like watching guys like you because you start in the back and you just work your way to to the front, and I feel like that's almost like a win. You know, being able to pull off that many passes and finish up in a podium. You may not get the win, but finishing in a podium after starting near the back, that's a win in my book.
Thank you, man. I definitely couldn't do it without all the guys in front of me. Honestly, I'm learning off every one of those guys every single lap, learning what to do and what not to do. And the ultimate goal is to get up there around those super fast guys like Ted and Justin, so you can really learn off their line, and you can kind of tell where they're letting off the gas and where they're getting back on the gas at, and you kind of learn what you're doing wrong along the way, and you just hope that you learn enough to be able to win it. And unfortunately, we wasn't able to learn enough to win it tonight.
Hey, but you learned enough for a P3.
Yes, sir. Hey, yes, sir. That's true, buddy. I appreciate you.
We while you're up in the booth, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Man, you guys at 10-4 Broadcasting, I love watching all these things after you guys are done. I know y'all put in a lot of work. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your night up there and doing this for us. And definitely shout out to Brady for this awesome league. If you're not in it, you should be in it. And to you guys out there watching, um, I, I've been racing for a long time, and I was kind of losing interest. And to be honest, this money racing deal brings a whole new
Mm-hmm.
level of excitement to it. Cause I don't know, everybody races different when you got money on the line and
Yep.
you've actually paid to be here. So it's brought a level of excitement. I definitely encourage it to anyone out there that's not joined to reach out to Brady and get involved.
Yep, and you can look him up on Facebook. I see. I typically am up overnights working, and I don't think Brady LaBeouf sleeps
He
because
does it. No,
because I be driving down to Kentucky or Ohio, wherever I got to go, and all of a sudden my phone vibrates. I'm like, who's bothering me in the middle of the night?
it's him. Yeah.
It's Brady posting in iRacing leagues talking about the upcoming races for the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, all that. He he doesn't stop and he doesn't sleep, and that's
If
great.
he if he has a wife, she hates him. Like, she's like, what are you doing?
The put your phone down. It's too bright. I'm trying to sleep.
Exactly. Man, hey, I appreciate you guys and all the sponsors involved as well, all the racers that showed up tonight, man. Shout out to Justin for winning this thing, Adam, Ted, my dad, James Haney,
Oh,
my
it's your
brother
dad.
Brian.
Okay, we didn't know
Yes,
if it was
sir.
your brother or okay, so it's your dad. All right, now we
That's
know.
my 65-year-old fucking dad out there, man. He's just putting along, man. He's trying not to wreck nobody.
Hey, that's awesome. I want to be 65 and doing this.
Man, all he knows how to do is turn on the computer to get on iRacing. When he has a problem, I have to drive to his house and help him out. And
That's awesome.
yeah, and my brother Brian, Brian Abbott, he should have the Haney name as well, but I guess Dad didn't love him as much. But I love you, Brian. I'm just playing, dude.
This might be
But
the best interview.
hey, man, I appreciate you guys having me.
Hey, thanks, Keith. Good luck, and we'll see you next week at Chicagoland.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks, Timothy. Thanks, Will.
Yes, sir.
Man, and Will, that is something I have forgotten to bring up. Not only do we get great racing because of, you got to take care of your car, but I forget that every week money is on the line. These guys pay to be here. They just don't come here for the heck of it. They come out here, they race. There's a championship fund that they pay into at the beginning of the season, and then they pay weekly, and then there's weekly payouts after every race. So that, like he said,
Oh
that
yeah.
just brings a whole nother level.
Yeah, I can attest to how expensive iRacing is just at the base of things. I don't now you have to pay annually, and you're trying to get some of that money back. You have to spend, Tim.
Eh, right. What is the basic economics? They always say you got to spend money to make money.
That's it. That's how I like to rationalize my sports gambling, Tim.
That's that's fantastic. But I believe
Oh my God.
you've been able to catch up with Adam Newbert down there in second place.
Yes, sir. As I'm catching up with Adam Newbert here, Adam, you finished in just one position shy of putting that four machine into victory lane here tonight. Didn't seem like anybody had anything for that 87 machine. Take us through your race here tonight, and what do you think it kept you out of victory lane there in that four machine?
Just got to be a better driver. Justin was gone, man. He is almost untouchable. He's so good. I mean, he is kicking our butts every week, and we just got to get better. Got to get better at driving. Got to get fast. Got to figure out what he's doing and beat him. We had a good race, so started off leading some laps in the first stage. Kind of fell back a little bit. Ended up finishing fourth in the first stage. Kind of had a good second stage. Got third. Then the final stage, when we were on that green flag run, I decided to kind of short pit the guys and ended up coming out right behind Justin. I think he had waited probably 5 or 6 laps after me and pitted. I think he come out right in front of me, so he was going to be gone anyway. But I think we would have been able to hold off second. I think Ted was super fast too. I think he got a speeding penalty.
Oh, that's what happened.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, he got a speeding penalty, and then all those cautions kept coming out, and it was like, dang, because when the first caution come out, Justin stayed out, but he only had like a lap and a half on his tires because he had just come out of pit road. I decided to pit, take my last set of tires, and I was like, man, if we can go green here, maybe we can do something. But all those cautions just kept coming out and could never really form anything. So P2's good. I mean, I think we were probably a third place. I felt like we were a third or fourth place car, so I'll take second.
Yeah, you really raced your way up through the grid. And as you just mentioned, we didn't really have that many cautions on the track. I believe only at the end there, a few stacked up there with a few cars trying to race for position. Did you like the style of race here tonight where it was really green flag racing wide out? Or would you have preferred a few more breaks to try to catch that 87?
Personally, like green flag racing, I don't like a lot of cautions coming out. So no, I think I was okay with the way it was. I don't think it would have made a difference anyway. I didn't have anything for that 87.
Yeah, the 87 definitely took a lot of wind out of a lot of people's sails here tonight. Speaking with Newbert there in that Ford machine, coming home P2 here tonight. And man, as you mentioned, you're trying to put that 4 into victory lane. What can you take from the race here tonight at Texas, knowing that you had a fast race car, you're trying to strategize, you're trying to get that thing into victory lane that you can maybe carry off into next season, or not next season, excuse me, next race that you learned from tonight's race?
I think just trying to do like we did tonight, qualify good, run up front all race, have a good clean race, and Chicago is going to be a good, fun mile-and-a-half little race. I really like Chicago, so if we can just keep it up front, I think we're going to have a shot next week at the end.
There we go.
Yeah, it ought to be a fun race next week, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. We're looking forward to it here at 10-4 Broadcasting. But of course, with that podium finish, we'd love to give you drivers the opportunity to shout out anybody that you had watching at home, any sponsors on the side of that race car, and where people can find you on social media.
I think so. We should be either me or Justin Michael should be the points leader after this race. I think we were second in points, and then Dustin
Right.
was the leader. I think I kind of outscored Dustin in the stages and in the race. So I think either me or Justin Michael's going to be the points leader after this. But I would like to give a shout out to Stick With It Motorsports. Jeff Sickles over there at Sick With It Motorsports, the team owner, does a great job. Great teamwork over there. Like to thank VFW Post Tacoma for everything they do to help us out. They've come on board this season, and they've really helped us out this season. Like to thank Millie's Landing, A's Lawn and Landscaping, Darren's Nail Gun Repair, all the sponsors over there at Sick With It Motorsports.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you taking the time with us here tonight. Going to come home second here tonight, but you're already looking forward to the Windy City next week at Chicagoland. But Adam, big congratulations from us here at N4 Broadcasting with that podium finish here tonight, man. Enjoy the rest of your week. We cannot wait to see you next week here in this series.
And thank y'all. I've gone back and I've been watching the broadcast after the race. Y'all done a great job. So thank y'all for really broadcasting and for us.
I appreciate that,
Awesome.
Adam. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was Adam Newbert there, Tim, and you heard it in his voice. He was humble in defeat. He knew that he really didn't have anything for that 87. I actually thought his car was a lesser car on the track than what he finished, maybe a third or fourth place car. So pretty cool to hear a driver know that maybe the race wasn't his here tonight, but really raced it out and got the best finish he could, squeezed all that lemonade out of that lemon to get that second place finish here tonight.
Yeah, really, Adam has been up there. Like he said, it's either going to be him or Michael as the points leader. Because looking here, right now, trying to see how many points he is ahead of Michael. He is 12 points ahead of Michael after Phoenix. So, depending on where, bonus points and things like that show up here tonight, it's going to be a close who's going to be the leader after tonight.
It definitely is, Tim, but I believe you are catching up with our winner of the night. He is down in Victory Lane enjoying some smoked turkey with some barbecue sauce because he is getting his turkey dinner here tonight, Tim. Take it away with our back-to-back-to-back winner.
Justin, put your clothes back on. We haven't done the interview yet. Just calm down.
No, you don't have to worry about that. Trust me.
He must be in the Arctic. But here with Justin,
no streaking here.
No streaking. This is a no streak zone. I'm sorry, I'm too much. Justin Michael here, winner of the NASRA Texas race here tonight. Man, I mean, you just make it look easy.
I don't know about that. Got lucky there, and those couple of yellows really helped us. We did have I think 2 lap older tires than everybody else except Keith. I think that's why I was trying to keep him in second on those restarts. But yeah, we just that very last green flag, we just started hot lapping. I think I set 3 laps in a row faster than what I qualified at. So
yeah,
we just had to get away from him. And hopefully not burn up the stuff too much, but it looks like Adam burned up his stuff too. So, but he did a good job trying to keep up. So,
when you go into the third stage, the final stage, like tonight, and you got to look at the green flag pit stops, things like that. Do you start worrying when other guys are heading down pit road before you?
that would depend on where they are at on the track.
Okay.
If they're close to me, yes. If they're back further, no, because that time they're making up. They're just going to give up once I get new tires. So, but if they're close to me, it just depends on how they've ran the whole night. So I unfortunately pay too much attention to the people running around me. I guess it's a good thing in the end.
Hey, obviously it works. I mean, that's something I need to start doing because I just don't be paying attention to nobody. I just run my own race and finish wherever I finish. So
a lot of people think I just go out there and start slinging it, and I don't. I actually pay attention to a lot of information on my fourth monitor when people are pitting, how long they were in the pits, things like that. I think at one point I almost hit the wall in the backstretch trying to find out how long somebody's pit stop was.
What is the most difficult thing for you in iRacing? I like that question.
Short tracks.
Okay. And
Yeah,
why is that? It's just the breaking
I-
points?
I don't know. I just never been good at short tracks. You have to be pinpoint accurate with them, even more so than road courses, I think. Um, and I don't know. I just never ever been that good. I've won a few here and there, and I got totally demolished in most of them. So I don't know. It's just one of them things. I like bigger tracks. I like momentum. That's what my friends always tell me.
I
You like
maybe
tracks with
shouldn't
momentum.
have asked this question on air because now everybody knows where they're going to go circle some tracks on the schedule.
Oh, I've raced some of these people in here long enough. They already know that.
That's funny. Well, congratulations on a first place victory yet again. I'm keeping track. I don't know if anybody else is, but that's 9 stage wins in a row. Sounds better than 3 race wins. I like the 9.
After 10, do I get a free turkey dinner or something?
Well, I would think after 3 races, 1 in a row, you get a turkey dinner. And I hear Brady LaBeouf is making it right now. He might ship it to you.
I'll just take the cash. It's okay. He can save his money on shipping.
It's cheaper than the turkey legs at Disney World. Don't worry.
There you go.
But next week, head to Chicagoland. I imagine it's going to be a track that you like.
Oh yeah, we love Chicagoland. It depends. There has been some setups though that haven't agreed with me, but for the most part, I really like that track.
Awesome. Well, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, it's seeing everybody out there watching. Hopefully, it was a good show. My friend Darren's sticking with me there for pretty much every race that I run. He's always in the channel watching, and John Overtop for putting on the sponsoring the league. Sorry, Brady for putting on the league, and Scott Patton out there for painting this awesome car as always.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations from all of us here at 10-4 Broadcasting. We look forward to next week at Chicagoland, and we'll see you there.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Well, that was our winner, Justin Michael. Just really put on a clinic here tonight, winning all 3 stages, winning the overall race, and possibly walking away with the point standings tonight. I think we may have lost Will. He did disappear from the server, so he might be having some internet issues. But I want to give a special shout out to Over the Top Designs for coming on board for this Thursday night Xfinity series here on 10-4 Broadcasting, brought to you by the North American Sim Racing Association. I want to thank Brady LaBeouf for bringing us on as well. And shout out to Admin Box. Can't thank them enough for being with us here at 10-4 Broadcasting. But we will see you all next week. Chicagoland, same time, 8:20 starts qualifying right here on 10-4 Broadcasting.